Hi. Okay, so anyway, that wasn't cigarettes. So, hello. I'm going to give you an update on my mom, but I'd just like to say that the bird stole my teeth and I couldn't find them for like 2 months. And last night he came flying up and landed on the screen with my teeth in his mouth. Little shit. I found them, I sanitized them, I brushed them, and I stuck them in my mouth today. And this is where they're staying. Um, Little crapper, he stole them right out of the cup. I was like, no. And I could not, I don't know where he had them teeth. Anyway, so I just thought I'd start with a little thing that was kind of fun. Me, I was like sitting here at 12 midnight. I'm like, what? I was chasing him, trying to get him to go in the cage. And here he comes with my teeth. And he was like, good baby. I was like, no. And then he dropped them and said, kiss, 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 kiss. I was like, you little shit. All right. So life with a bird. Oh, my God. I never guessed. Okay. So, Mom, they're calling more and more and more the heart monitoring thing to say that she's having significant skips and that her heart rate is not going back to normal. You know, it like skips and then would go right back to normal before, like 2 years ago when she was in the hospital when they started noticing this. And now it's not going back to normal. Yesterday and the day before, we had incidences where her blood pressure was very low. She had very little energy. It was very hard to get her up. You know, things are changing. You know, I was talking to Rosemary, the nurse practitioner, on the phone because they came and did a blood test and her potassium was a little low, so we upped the potassium. But she was talking about how's the physical therapy going, you know, and I said, well, you know, okay, she's doing it, but it's not helping her balancing because of the Parkinson's. It's not, you know, it's the physical therapist felt that, you know, when she, you know, builds up the muscles in her legs, that she'll be able to, stand up. I said, you know, I'm not saying that it won't or it's not. However, if she cannot, you know, bend her knees and her knees keep giving out on her, that's not muscles. And, you know, and the physical therapist, oh, yeah. I said, no, listen to that. That's not muscles. That's no kneecap. That's no knees anymore. That's not muscle. You know, and you know, it's very sad. It's heartbreaking. I sit down here and I cry because she's suffering. I mean, suffering. And it's very hard to get people to listen and to hear. You know, their filter tells them that they want it to be this way. That, oh yeah, I'm going to help her. You know, that's ego. I'm going to help her stand up because it's her muscles. Sorry, honey, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that the physical therapy isn't helping her. It is. But, you know, when a person stands up and their knees creak like a door, an old door that needs some WD-40, you know, and then it goes, that's not muscles. I mean, you know, and the shoulder with the crackling and, you know, she's just, you know, and here's my point. I'm trying to get the woman a hospital bed. You know, they want like $5,000, you know, to bring it here, set it up. You got to pay for it ahead of time. She's not paying for no hospital bed at $5,000. It's not. She won't even let me bring the stairlift company in to extend the chairlift to make it easier so we don't have to try to fit in that hallway so I can get her downstairs easier. Nope, won't do that either. Only a couple $100. Won't spend the money. So she has to stay up there because I can't be behind her to hold her to get her in the chair. I could if it was extended. I can't in that hallway. And no, we're going to get her, the physical therapist, no, we're not going to prescribe it because, she doesn't need it yet. My back needs it. My back needs that bed to go up and down. If the bed went up, it would be easier to get her in a standing position, right? With the bed higher, she wouldn't have to lift so much. It wouldn't be so hard on those knees. But I cannot get these people to understand this or to even listen. They're all, oh no, and Rosemary, God bless her, she's like, well, let's wait till the physical therapy and then, we'll reassess and we'll see if we can get, I know it's going to be a fight to get my mom in a hospital bed. I know it is. But, she's having low heart rate. We very rarely now, maybe 3 times a week, give her blood pressure medication because she doesn't need it. Her blood pressure is low. Though today it was really high, so I gave her blood pressure medication. It's just, things are changing very rapidly, and I can't get people to focus and to hear and to listen. There was a visiting nurse that came here, and and I said, he's asked a question about the cardiologist, and I said, he's never actually given us a diagnosis. He talks in medical terms that we don't understand. And when I ask him to say it in English, people understanding English, not the medical terminology, he rats it out really quick. He has some kind of problem just stating what she has, what it is. I've had to do, it's just ridiculous. And so the company calls, she had a significant skip. What was she doing at this time? Blah, blah, blah. Did she have any symptoms? Did she, well, I'll let the doctor know. So then I call the cardiologist's office and they say, well, we'll address it at her next appointment. Well, we'll address it at her next appointment. The way it's looking, might not be another appointment. Can't you just address it on the phone? No. Why? Because they can't get paid on the phone. Medicare will not pay for a phone consultation. I have to get this poor woman who can hardly stand up all the way down, all the way out, into the car that's low. We don't have an SUV that's high. She won't buy that either. And if it's raining or windy, she ain't going. And this spring, it's been nothing but rainy and windy. So, I don't, it's just it's a literal fight and battle every day. Not one day goes by that, I don't have to, not literally fight, not be mean, not, but, nicely tell people exactly what's going on and try to get them to understand and to listen and to focus and not be on what has worked in the past for whoever. No, we're talking about my mother, and they keep saying, what pain medication is she on? Just give her some pain medication. I'm like, you took her off all pain medication. She ain't on no pain medication. And she's still having a heart skip. So it's not the coding. Can she have some pain medication back? Because Advil and Tylenol ain't working. Well, we'll address that. man, all I can say is stay healthy, stay active, go out in the sun. All things my mother never does. She refuses to go outside. Mother's never been an outside person. Never. Um, you know, mainly because it would, the outside would mess up her hair that she spent 20 bucks on getting done. And heaven forbid it get windy or it rain and she messes up her hair. But I can't help but think, what has what has not being in the sun for, other than maybe a few minutes or a half hour, 20 minutes, maybe a week, a day, for the last 50 years done to her body. Not being outside, no fresh air. Heaven forbid we open a window around there. I do down here because she don't know, but in the rest of the house, no fresh air. Why? Because dirt comes in through the windows. Heaven forbid there be any dirt. So, so my point is this: stay healthy, stay active, go out in the sun. Try to eat as healthy as you can. Keep those heavy metals out of your water. Filter. Zero filter, or one of those expensive Berkey. Zero water does the same thing for way cheaper. That's what I used. I wasn't buying a Berkey. But if you can afford a Berkey, go for a Berkey. But do whatever you can to get those heavy metals out of your body, because all the research for Parkinson's and any brain degenerative disease like it, MS, Lou Gehrig's, there's a few others, all point to heavy metals. So anyway, there's the update. Things aren't going that great. She's not doing that well. I'm doing the best I can. It is what it is. Excuse me. Y'all have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.